When Sarah walked out that night, suitcase in hand and without a word of farewell, I felt like my entire world had collapsed. She had been my wife for 7 years, my companion through every high and low, the person I trusted above all others. Then, out of nowhere, she dropped a bombshell that shattered me completely. She had been involved with another man for months and had decided to leave me for him. The man she chose was flashy, wealthy, and generous with lavish gifts, things I simply couldn't offer. I didn't argue. I didn't plead. I let her leave, carrying the same silence she had left behind. The first few days afterward were brutal. I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, and every corner of the house was a constant reminder of her laugh, her scent, her presence. Friends tried to comfort me, insisting I was better off without someone who didn't value loyalty. But their words barely registered. I replayed every moment in my mind, wondering where I had failed. Had I not shown her enough love? Worked too much? Or was it simply that I couldn't compete with the excitement she found in the other man? Then I did something that changed everything. I stopped blaming myself. I realized her decision wasn't about any shortcomings on my part. It was about her own greed and insatiable need for thrill. With that clarity, I shifted my focus back to myself. I started exercising, revisited old hobbies, and began socializing more. Gradually, life felt lighter, freer, almost unexpectedly better without her. 2 weeks later, just as I was starting to feel like myself again, there was a knock at the door late one night. I wasn't expecting anyone, and when I opened it, I froze. Sarah stood there, tears streaking her ruined makeup, clutching her purse like it was the only thing keeping her together. Her eyes were red, her voice trembling. "Please, can we talk?" I let her in, my heart pounding with a mix of anger, pity, and curiosity. She sat on the couch, the same couch she had once relaxed on as my wife, and began to unravel everything. The man she had left me for wasn't who she thought he was. He had seemed kind and generous at first, but soon his true nature emerged. Controlling, manipulative, and treating her as nothing more than a trophy, he showed her no respect. She had realized she had made the gravest mistake of her life. She admitted she had believed leaving me would lead to a more glamorous existence, but instead, she felt trapped and humiliated. The man had already moved on, discarding her like a worn-out toy, and only then did she grasp what she had lost. Me, the man who had loved her unconditionally, without need for display or grandeur. As she spoke, I remained silent, letting her words wash over me. Part of me wanted satisfaction, to revel in her downfall, but mostly I felt emptiness. She was right in front of me begging, yet I understood something profound. I didn't want her back. Her tears no longer held sway over me, and her remorse could never erase the betrayal. When she finally pleaded, "Can we start over? I'll do anything to fix this," I felt an unexpected calm. I told her I had loved her once, with everything I had, but that version of myself, the man she betrayed, was gone. In these 2 weeks, I had rebuilt my life, and though it hurt to admit, I could not take her back. Trust, once broken, can never be fully restored. Her face fell as if I had struck her. She cried harder, even sank to her knees, but my resolve was unshakable. I reminded her she had made her choice the moment she walked away. Now I was making mine. She had taught me a hard lesson. Sometimes losing someone is the best thing that can happen because it clears the path for something better. That night, she left my house as she had before, suitcase in hand, tears in her eyes. But this time, I was not broken. I closed the door, not in sorrow, but in relief. Her departure had freed me from a love that was never truly loyal. And even as she begged to come back, I knew my future could never belong to someone capable of discarding me so easily.